Now this will give you a better impression of where I am. You see, though, this is Xiamen right here. My apartment's actually like right there, and that's this big Kinmen Island right here. And there's a little Kinmen Island. This is where I am now. I took a ferry from up here at Wutong Port on Xiamen all the way over to Shuitou pier, and then I took another ferry to Liu County, which is also called Little Kinmen Island. This place is pretty cool out here. I mean, it's pretty wild. It's mostly just like a wooded island, and apparently there's little villages somewhere, but I haven't seen any yet. I'm just walking on this beautiful road. You know, this beautiful path-like road that goes along the coastline. And this place is just it's something very different than Xiamen. It's almost the polar opposite of Xiamen. There's pretty much no development here. A little bit of a tourist infrastructure while they're trying to get their tourism going. But you know, it's pretty much just unmodern China, I guess you can put it like that, right? Or if people on the mainland just kind of like culturally, just like gradually culturally evolved, right? Rather than having like the cultural blast of communism, right? And so this is just like kind of like how this area used to be before the Chinese Revolution, before the communists took over. And it's just it's nice little wooded, undeveloped islands. They're just amazing to walk, right? Just it's amazing place to be. Okay, I'm walking into a little village now. This little village on the coast of Little Kinmen Island. And it's basically a temple, you know, a little dock, some houses, a corner store, a little restaurant, and that's all there is to it. There's just one thing that I really love about the Kinmen Islands, is that you can come out here, go out to these beaches, and have them completely to yourself. I mean, there's nobody here. I mean, the sun's shining, it's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful beach, doesn't look like there's that much garbage on it, right? And there's just nobody. It's like just it's beautiful and perfect. I'm now standing near Donggang on a little Kinmen Island of Taiwan. I'm standing near the location of the 1987 Liu massacre. This an unidentified fishing boat was seen off the coast near here, and the Taiwanese military fired some warning shots at it, and it didn't stop coming. It landed on these shores, and the military blasted the boat with a bazooka, and people jumped out, and they blasted a few of them just right away. They just shot them dead, no questions asked. And the other ones they took captive, and they found out that the people were Vietnamese refugees. They were just Vietnamese boat people, and they killed them, and they dug a grave. For the ones that weren't dead yet, they buried them alive. It was a massacre. I mean, this was 1987. Wasn't that long ago. This place was a very, very militarized zone, right? Basically a big military camp, and it still is to a certain extent, but that's way less than what it was in the past. And any boats that came around here, they got blasted. No, this is a pretty cool thing on Little Kinmen Island. Back during the time when it was super militarized, the Taiwanese military dug all these tunnels through the island so they could like get to certain locations fast and whatever, so they can go underground from when the Chinese troops were like bombing them and stuff like that. Now they don't really need these tunnels too much anymore, so essentially just now they just let people, civilians walk through and get from like one part of town to the other, and also tourists come and go through the tunnels and look at them and stuff. But it's just pretty cool that now one of the ways of getting around this island is going through the old military tunnels. So I'm putting on you're supposed to wear these hard hats when you're in the tunnel, so I'm just gonna sit one on my head and well, let's go and see what this is about. Alright, I'm going in. Oh, apparently that's how they made this. This statue of a bomb is pretty much the center of little Kinmen Island. This is pretty much the main intersection of town. I'm now walking in the downtown area of Donglin. That's the village. I think this is the main village of Little Kinmen Island. This place is pretty neat. It was bombed to oblivion in the 50s and 60s. I heard they built it up pretty well since then. These streets, a lot of old streets. This is just a old Chinese style. I mean, these buildings I don't think they're that old, but it's just the way that they're put together, the way people interact with the space and with each other. It's real traditional style. If I could find a cheap hotel, I'll stay here tonight in a hotel. If not, I might camp out somewhere. I have a tent with me, or I might go back to Big Kinmen Island. Haven't decided yet. Okay. 好的，谢谢你。Okay. Okay. Thank you.
这边。Sorry 啊。
好的，谢谢你。哎，哥，在这。好。
Okay.
Okay. 谢谢。Okay. So I've just arrived with these guys in the back of their truck. Hey. As is often the case when you try walking long distances, you kind of get a little sick of walking, so you stick out your thumb and hitch a ride. And it took me 2 cars. This guy was the second guy that drove past before he picked me up, so that's about 30 seconds of standing on the side of the road with my thumb out. But yeah, it's kind of strange. It's a little cargo truck, right? Anyway, as it goes in world travel, walking journeys often turn into hitchhiking journeys, or at least partially turn into hitchhiking journeys. You walk to get sick of walking, and then you get a ride. 我这儿吗？
对，有镜头。
哦，好好好，啊，谢谢你。
不会不会。
啊，哎，谢谢你，朋友。I made it. Just had to pick a place on the map, so I chose this fort. It's on the coast. So what I really want to do here is look across the strait and see my apartment. See my family on the other side. I won't be able to see them. Really, it's still, it's still 5,000 meters away. But I just want to look across from Little Kinmen Island at Xiamen. Cool. This is exactly what I wanted. Right across the strait there, that stretch of water. That's Xiamen. To the left side is where I live, where I have an apartment. Wouldn't say I live anywhere. Yeah, just across that narrow band of water is China. I'm gonna look through these binoculars. Now you see the troops of the ROC, the Golden Town, and the communist troops of the PRC on the other side. They used to look through binoculars that look, these ones probably, at each other, and that's what they used to do. One of my university professors was actually a soldier on the communist side, and he was stationed right over there in Xiamen, and he said, I asked him what he did during his military service. I said, yeah, I just sat there for 2 years, just looking across the strait through binoculars at people soldiers on Kinmen looking back at me. And now I'm actually looking through the windows of my apartment. Seriously, these are high-power binoculars. I can look through, and if my family, if my wife and daughter were home right now, I'd be able to see them on our balcony. I can look right into our apartment. It's a little creepy that people in Taiwan come look into my house and see what I'm doing. Well, I hitched a ride out to the west coast of Little Kinmen Island, and it's a place that's just it's pretty remote. I mean, Little Kinmen's pretty remote. This is where I am. It's like way out of town. And I'm gonna stay here tonight. I'm just gonna camp out on the beach. But I was unprepared. I didn't bring enough food out with me. I'm not sure if I even had enough water. Didn't have any beer, right? So I need to go find some food. So I walked into the little village, asked if there are any stores. Like, no, there's no stores here. Well, I know there has to be a little store somewhere. So I asked this old farmer, is there a small store? Is there anywhere selling food? And he gave me directions to this little house, just like this little house, just like this, down a winding little alley. And I was able to get some beer, get some water, and get these dehydrated noodles. So life is good. Life is good. It feels good to be somewhere a little more remote, where you can't just point your finger and have there be a McDonald's there, or a good restaurant, or a hotel, or a hostel. And in some ways it makes you work for your travels a little bit harder. In other ways it's a lot easier because there's not a lot of choices, right? My choice tonight for dinner was dehydrated noodles or soda crackers or nothing, right? There was no choice. There was no looking for restaurants, no looking for a hotel. I'm just gonna sleep on the beach, right? And it makes things a lot more simple. So I found a place to camp on Little Kinmen Island, right on the west side of the island. Just across the strait there is Xiamen. And this is where I chose to camp. I'm gonna set my tent up right here in this little spot here. It looks pretty dry, so I think when the high tide comes in, I'm not gonna get washed away. I hope. But anyway, there's this bed of grass right over here. So I'm thinking that the tide doesn't come up this high. But I'll find out. But anyway, so I'm just gonna hang out here for a while, do some writing. look across the island at Xiamen. All these skyscrapers in a couple minutes are gonna light up. The weather's warm. It's a perfect night for camping. Perfect night for walking and on a remote, beautiful island. And it's been a perfect day of travel.你好，先生。
要干什么？
啊，
要做什么？
是我的房子。
这个房子。
我的房子，对对对。
啊，等一下会涨潮啊。
啊。
等下海水上来。
哦，好。
海水上来。
上来，嗯。Alright, so a fisherman just came and told me that the high tide was going to come up to where my tent was previously set up, so I pushed it back as far as I could. Hopefully the tide won't come up this high, or else well, I might have a surprise in the night. So I'm looking across the strait at Xiamen from Taiwan's Kinmen Island, and this has to be one of the strangest scenes on the planet. This is a view of Xiamen's new CBD. They built all these new skyscrapers up all the way down the coastline, which is in direct view of Taiwan's Kinmen Island. And it's pretty far from central Xiamen. This is not a centrally located area. Regardless of the fact that it's called a central business district, it's not very central at all. At night they put on this laser light, well, not laser light, but they put all the lights on these skyscrapers, pretty much just so the people in Kinmen and Taiwan could see it, right? These towers are vacant, right? Most of them have almost no businesses at all. Some of them have absolutely no businesses, right? These are mostly vacant skyscrapers of a new CBD. Well, around 9:45 last night, I started thinking that the fisherman who told me that the high tide was going to come up and wash out my tent may have been right. Previous to that, I moved my tent all the way back to the back of the beach, thinking that would be far enough to stay away from the tide. But it kept rising fast. I found out that high tide was at 11:30. We got to about 10:30, and it was getting pretty close. So I decided to break camp and then go stay up on top of the hill here. So I did that. Just grabbed my tent, just picked it up, and I didn't break the tent down. Carried it up there, set camp up on top of the hill in the middle of the night. Tried to go to sleep, but man, it was fucking hot in that thing, man. I'm just sweating buckets of sweat. My shirt's soaked like a sponge. It was extremely hot. It was probably one of the most uncomfortable nights of camping I've ever had. It's a new tent, bought it for 150 RMB, which is $25 at Decathlon, and it was it was a good deal. But man, I've got to come up with another strategy for it. It was way too hot in there, and it wasn't even a very hot night last night either. That was awful. That's what adventure is, though. When you see all these tourist brochures, people going on adventures, and they're smiling and laughing. No, man, you don't smile and laugh when you're on an adventure. You're having a fucking adventure. You're probably having a pretty shitty time. Adventures when the fucking surf wakes you up in the middle of the night. And you have to jump up and break camp run to the top of a hill, and then go sit in a tent and sweat your ass off all night. Adventure is not fun. Adventure is stressful. It's hard. It's frightening. But it makes you feel alive too at the same time, right? There's this little community bathroom behind me, the village's bathroom. I'm gonna just go over there and get washed up for the day. I'm gonna clean a little of the sweat off me from last night. Okay, that feels better. All washed up. Packed up camp and now moving on to a new place. I think I'm gonna go back to Big Kinmen Island. Right now I'm gonna hitch to the port and take a ferry back over there. And then I don't know where I'm gonna go from there. Now there are a lot of really beautiful old houses and temples on these Kinmen Islands. Here's one here. It's a little shrine, but it's so ornately decorated and just so beautiful. This is just a beautiful area here. It's just all little farms. Just all little farms, little villages, coastal areas. It's what the world was like before we mollified it, right? Kind of say I have nothing against I don't know. It's a weak position to be against things just because they're modern or chain stores or whatever. I mean, travel is about accepting and finding interest in what there is out there, right? Running to the world and to what there is rather than trying to run away from everything all the time. If you spend your life trying to run away from McDonald's, you're creating a dichotomy that's not going to leave you very happy most of the time, right? Sure, you can get out to places like this, right? But they're not too common in this world, at least not anymore. Man, when you go out to an island that's just that doesn't have a McDonald's on it, right? Or a set of islands that don't even have a KFC. It's that's something special now. Really, and you enjoy it when you're here, and then when you're back in the city, you go and get a sausage egg McMuffin. Enjoy that too. Now I'm gonna try to hitch a ride. I'm gonna try to get back to the main pier. It's a little ways, all the way on the other side of the island. It'll be better just to hitch back. It'll take me all day to walk there, probably. There's not really any cars out here, right? You go someplace remote, there ain't could be that many cars. You could get to these places easy because you go to a place like there's traffic and stuff. Like hitching a ride out here was easy, but like to leave a remote place and go to like some place that's populated, that's a little more difficult. Ooh, dang! All right, we got a few more cars. Let's see what's gonna happen. Oh. Yeah, that's hitchhiking. Well, I ended up on a bus. That happens sometimes. So I'm hitching on the side of the road. This lady drives by me on a little moped. She turns around, comes back. What are you doing? People don't do that here, she said. It's a little strange. You can do that in your home country, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's very easy here. Try to tell you, I just got a ride the day before. It's not a big deal. Anyway, she's going on and on and on. Tell me about the bus. The bus goes up this way, turns around. Going on and on and on. And then, yeah, whatever. I don't want a bus. I keep walking. And then the bus comes. Stops right next to me. I'm not at a bus stop. The driver just opens his door, looks at me, as if to say, come on, you fool. Just get on the bus, right? So I get on, it's like under 50 cents a ride. It takes me to where I'm gonna go. Why not? I walked all over this island yesterday. It's time to get moving. Well, I'm back on the ferry. I'm going back to Big Kinmen Island. Made a friend with this old lady. Won't stay away from me. can sit right up front and watch us go. It's pretty good.